Joanna. Here I will present about the journal article that I made that is about contrastive analysis. I give my work a title, Contrastive Analysis Between English and Indonesia as suffix 80 in a book beats the series. In this paper, I take from series of called Boo Beats the Series in the stream application to watch. In this paper that I made, I took the concept of first finding words and sentences using the search language, namely English, and then using this translation equivalent of the Indonesian target language. In the second, using concepts with a morphological process, I choose one of them, namely suffixes. I will briefly explain what is in this paper that I made. And the first one, there's this background, which certainly contains the background, problem which includes a description of the things that prompted my research, namely, for the first, explanation of contrastive analysis contains a brief description, which also helps in making my research analysis. The definitions of contrastive analysis, if so that I got the most obvious template. My research background is from Robert Water. And then for this next, morphology. I also include an explanation about my full morphology because I also use morphological process. It's specifically suffixes, starting with an explanation of morphology, then continuing the meaning of the suffixes themselves according to the expert which I need in certain situations. Same in the definition about morphological. Next, statement of the problem. In the statement of the problem, I explained all the factor of variable identified by me regarding the problems in my data research based on reference, literature, or research results that I have understood before. And then, of course, there are many causal factors which are problems and cause other problems. But what I have identified the number of factors and the problem which are within which and range on some of which I can master, namely 3 of them. And the first about similarities, and the second about the differences, and the last is about how learning problem or translating problem based on the differences, aside from English to Indonesia equivalent translation. And the 3 above are taken according to assessing the data from who beats the series itself. And the next, limitation of the study. In this here, I explain about it all. If all the factor in the research that I am doing are related to problems that have been previously identified by me, then I choose several factors that were within a reach of the researcher, scientific abilities, and were interesting to study. This section also describes the limitation of the problems. Limitation of the studies, like same the before in the statement of work, so that the scope of the research becomes clear. The discussion or not, the testing is not widely and need anywhere and can achieve the objectives of the research with the limited time and resource. In this section, it is also necessary to state the assumptions I use in the research if I took 3 of them according to the statement of the problem. Namely, for the first, there are similarities, and the second, differences, and the last, the prediction on learning of the translating problem based on the differences design. Yes, there are 3 all of us same like statement of the problems. Okay, in the next, namely objectives of the study. Objectives of the study, I give my 3 objectives, especially the objectives that I want to achieve in the research. That is 3. For the first, to find out the similarities, and the second, to find out the differences, and the last, to predict the learning on the specific problem. To all of us, same like the limitation of the studies and the statement of the problem. For the source, who beats the source. Okay, next. And then from the significance of the studies is also not far from the objective the study. Yeah. Here also we'll explain about the purpose of my research by adding a description of the result or answer to be obtained from the research that I conducted on the research question disclosed in the problem identification section. And this section also describes the benefits of scientific research, namely to provide knowledge development that is relevant to the field of science that I'm research. The practical benefits, namely the usefulness of research for the practical world in the field. Okay, next. For a few of literature. Yeah, in this section, I took the three important points, namely the conceptual framework, and the related studies, which will later help me in working on this journal. I took several references from previous researchers from books on journal. Yeah, I understand the three experts who can help me and become the main points in this section. Namely, and first, belongs to Platt, 2002, which describes contrastive analysis. And second, Whitman, all R, 1970, which describes the five steps that will help me work on the results and discussion section. And the third, explaining about morphology. There are many expert understanding in this section. The most obvious of which belong to Cafford, 1974, and Niga, 1974. And the last, of course, about the translation that I took from Bristol in 1976. For the last one, I will tell you briefly about the diagnosis of the service. Yeah, sorry. Next step. Yeah, this here. I gotta tell the I gotta tell to briefly. The synopsis of the movie, this movie, the series. Yeah, tells about the Erica, the main character, who is known as the senior and is very diligent in studying. Then Erica decided to live her life, having fun with her friends before high school ends. The name is Gia. Yeah, the best one. However, while having fun going to a party, she's accidentally hit by a car. Erika then becomes a ghost and decides to take advantage of her life after that. That's all. I explained everything. Thank you for watching and listening to my explanation.